something beeping.
It's the speakerphone was really the issue.
But most importantly, Sam failed to disclose to us that he had a rather large and very insightful article on Domantas Sabonis.
Yeah, that would have been a fun thing to actually lead with.
Mm-hmm. We invite you to read this.
As we just sit here and roast Sam.
I'm just roasting the heck out of it. It's the most insight. It's the most that Domas has opened up since he's been here. They talk about, first off, how crazy his life's been since the trade deadline, and this is it's a minor thing, but I didn't even realize this. He said when he talked to him during his suspended game, I believe, the day they played Denver. And he was like, this is only my third time here. We've been on the road.
Yeah, in Sacramento, he's touched down 3 total times.
So he's still living, I believe he's still living he mentions in the hotel across the street. That's got to be the Sawyer.
Which is a nice dig, by the way.
It's nice, but you're still living in a hotel room.
Yeah, I don't like to be in a hotel room any more than all day.
Right, and he's been there for, the better part of a month when not on the road.
Keep in mind, he's married. I believe he has children.
I think so, yeah.
Either way, that's
a whole family thing.
That's a whole,
And, again, this is kind of like the guy who's like, Ben Simmons, who cares? He gets paid for this. Well, yeah, okay, yes, he's staying in what I'm sure is a nice suite.
With room service and everything.
I
hear Vivek might even pick up the bill.
Probably. I'm sure he's got either a suite or they also have lofts instead. In fact, speaking of, I know Vivek has one over there. A lot of people do. Well, not a lot of people. A handful of people have these homes there. And for all we know, but point is this.
And not Rashawn, by the way.
Even if he's there, right? No, homes, not homes.
Sounds the exact same.
It does. Point is, no matter how much you get paid, it's still tough, man.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
tough. You're missing your family, all the crap.
Again, I don't know why this is a theme of the show today, but It's like we're just defending all these athletes. Right. It feels like it's not really defending. It's just like, facts are facts, bro.
Matter.
They're humans, and living out of a hotel and not having your belongings and having to move your family around. Hey, believe it or not, it takes mental time.
Let me tell you something, dude. If K for some reason had to go on the road for a month, and I was away from my wife for a month, I might get ejected a couple times too. I might be a little snappy from time to time. If I'm away from home that long, oh yeah, my blood pressure's probably a little higher than normal. Except for this morning.
Yeah.
Now, he's asked about getting traded. And specifically about the whole you and Miles Turner didn't want to play together and this and that, whatever. And Sabonis went out of his way to say, yeah, we're still super close. We played together for 6 years. That was a media thing. That was a NBA thing. We kept telling the GMs, the personnel people that we're good. We're fine. We're great. Everything's great. Nothing's going on here. It's outside noise. So that was kind of interesting. And was asked about who he's been talking to here. He mentioned, I've been talking a lot to Wes Wilcox. He's more around. He talked to Monty McNair a couple days ago. They have a good deal. Harrison. He's really hitting it off on the floor with De'Aaron Fox. But then he was asked about getting thrown out and asked about the fan passion here, basically, by Sam. And he said in regards to the ejection, that's why I got frustrated. The Kings brought me here, and we want to change things. Mm-hmm. My goal is to make the play-in games, but that would be amazing, or to just be in that kind of game, or just play the right way, build little stones to next season. That's why I got upset, because, again, we blew our second game up 20. These are the games we need to have. I want that for this organization. I want that for this city. It will be a lot of fun. It's just little by little. I think we're doing great things and going in the right direction. We're going to have a big summer. We've been talking about it.
That was the one line I took from the whole story. I was like, oh?
Uh-huh.
Oh?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
All signs, which it's not insight. It's not obvious. I mean, it's not like we figured it out before. Everyone knows.
Yes.
Just like all eyes are on Monty during the trade deadline. All eyes are now back on. Monty got a nice month off Well, that's the thing.
Maybe a week.
Monty's actually been on the road most of the time, more than the Kings have been on the road scouting. This is college basketball tournament season.
He went and watched you the other day, didn't he?
Very funny. I see what you did. You're referring to Drew Timme of Gonzaga, and yes, he did. He's all over the country right now scouting, as is the and by the way, I like that.
Sure.
It's a lot better than hearing around this time that your GMs are like, down at Java City, being spotted, hanging out, not answering their texts. That was unnecessary.
Not talking about anybody that used to work for this organization.
No, just in general.
This happened in, I believe, Milwaukee.
We're going to have a big summer. We've been talking about it. And then we'll all have a good training camp, get everybody together. He called De'Aaron Fox aggressive. He's awesome. He's a great guy. He said the highlight of living in Sacramento so far is the weather. He said it's not as warm as everyone said yet, but it's going to get there. Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah. Domas, trust me,
Enjoy
you want warm.
It now.
There's no, we've talked about this. There's about, 2 weeks of spring in this city?
There's about 2 weeks of warm.
2 weeks of spring,
and
which
then
is
it's hot.
And then it's just blistering hot.
Trust me, dude. Enjoy it now. But he mentions his wife's from L.A., his family from out here as well. They go into, and this is something that, Sabonis is Lithuanian, but there's a lot of connections there familially with Ukraine.
Well, Lithuania, part of the former USSR.
Right, exactly. There's a lot they go into there. He's reading about it, talking to his family. He's talking about some of the work his dad has done and things his dad has done. Mentions his good friend. I mean, listen, this is bigger than basketball. So our guy Jonas Valanciunas, but Jonas Valanciunas is Lithuanian, and we should point this out. Again, there's basketball hate, and then there's real life, and in real life, Jonas seems like a wonderful dude. Just sent a couple of cars. This is Jonas over to the Ukraine, where people are using him for missions and all kinds of things. So everybody's kind of banding together to help out, and that's part of it. End of the interview. Sam talks to him about his contract. You got 2 years left. What's your perspective on fitting in with the team long haul? I will just quote this straight up. I'm excited. I'm excited about the whole journey. It sucks that we have the playoff drought. But the fact that we can be part of something that can turn it around, that's the goal. Come in and change the perspective of this organization, what people think. We're excited that we can be a part of that and build it, So I want to stay as long as I can. Here's the line everyone's going to jump on. Everything has to go well, but I'm happy here. It's awesome. The fans are great. I'm excited to see us do good things. I'm not going to downplay nor overplay that line. I think we take it for what it, just like I'm not going to. I personally think he's going to re-sign. I would bet money on it. I think all signs point to him re-signing. History points to him re-signing. It would take... Now, my worst case scenario is not him not re-signing because I don't really see that as the most likely thing. I think the most likely thing is that he re-signs and is here for a while. Mm-hmm. But even if he does re-sign, he's going to re-sign for the most money he can get and then beg out a year later. That's what happens.
Sure.
That's today's NBA. But I just like I'm not going to overplay all the great things he said about the fans and how he wants to be here. Now that guarantees he's going to re-sign. When he says everything needs to go, of course everything needs to go well.
But that's it. And you said people are going to jump all over it, and I agree with you that they will. I just don't know why. If we're looking at it from just let's take out the emotion for a second. I know that's a hard thing to ask fans to do, but hear me out. If this team has sub 35 win seasons the next 2 years, why would he want to spend his prime with an organization that has shown over 2.5 years they can't build around him? Like, let's just look at it logically. Of course he's going to go somewhere else. This isn't rocket science.
But didn't we just, and again, this is the taboo subject here that I get yelled at for, but didn't we just see this happen with De'Aaron Fox?
De'Aaron was on a rookie deal. It's completely different.
Because De'Aaron signed a max deal to spend at least half.
He signed a max rookie deal. Let me ask you this. How many rookies usually jump ship after their rookie?
None.
Almost none. How many guys after their second contract jump ship?
Right.
Completely different conversation.
And when we talk about, I think what Sabonis is saying is fair.
Of course it is.
You can only deal with so much. Now, listen, dude, in 2 years, if this team is still finishing years with 30 wins, not making the playoffs, that playoff drought's up to 18. What Domantas Sabonis said is what almost every rookie has said or new player said when they come here. I want to be the guy to help turn it around.
Well, and not just that. What guy shows up to a new city and just poo-poos the fans? Literally nobody. Literally nobody.
Jason Terry.
Jason Terry didn't show up. I said, who shows up?